Hi, let's talk about a just culture and how it's not the same as a blame-free culture. Hi, my name is Paul Frampus. I'm a practicing physician and also serve as a medical director for patient safety. In my patient safety role, I have the opportunity to talk to many people about the ideas of a more modern and systems-based approach to patient safety. As I do this, it occurs to me that some aspects of it are often taken out of context and/or completely misunderstood. One of the pillars of a safety culture in high reliability organizations is a just culture. A just culture is a careful balancing of personal responsibility or accountability on the behalf of providers and the responsibility of the organization in the face of an error. As healthcare industry works to improve safety practices and achieve high reliability, there must be an adoption of a just culture. In that effort, I believe there are many interpretations and, quite frankly, what I would call misunderstandings of many of the concepts of a just culture. One of the major pushbacks from care providers, managers, and leaders is a misunderstanding that a just culture is equivocal to a blame-free culture. This comes from an oversimplification of the words, a desire to describe things in simple sound bites and tweets, and misses the need to truly sort through the challenging gray zones that accompany any error in healthcare. I think it is important to realize that this is an incorrect interpretation and overgeneralization of the intent of a just culture. In its purest sense, blame is defined as assigning responsibility for fault or for wrong. This certainly must be part of a patient safety process. Traditionally, however, in healthcare, blaming people has been front and center and the primary focus of the safety inquiry. This leads to the perception of a punitive culture, shrouds facts in secrecy and a reluctance to be transparent, and subsequently contributes to the inability to understand the error at a deeper causative level. It obscures the ability to identify system and environmental factors that were likely part of the cause. This whack-a-mole approach continues to occur routinely in healthcare, despite the knowledge in other high reliability industries that they have made progress in significant safety systems improvement by moving away from that idea. The airline industry is a classic example. In healthcare, there has been a long tradition of challenges associated with incident investigations that try to uncover the source of the errors once they occur. Overcoming such challenges could lead to improvements in the local culture of safety and the ability for an organization to learn from their mistakes. There are three fundamentally prevalent changes or awarenesses that healthcare organizations need to address or develop to move forward towards high reliability with regards to patient safety. The first is to develop an appreciation for the fact that all humans are fallible and will eventually make an error of undetermined magnitude at an undetermined time. In healthcare, the magnitude of the error spans a significant distance. One example may be a misinterpretation of an order that allows a wrong medication to be administered to a patient that ends up causing no harm. Alternatively, the same error with slightly different variables, maybe a different medication or maybe a different patient, may lead to the death of a patient. If we are looking at this and studying from a systems-based lens, we must investigate, evaluate, go through the same processes regardless of the gravity of the error. This can be emotionally challenging for all involved, particularly when harm and/or death is the outcome for the patient. In 2000, Dr. Reason cautioned that blaming individuals is more emotionally satisfying than targeting institutions. Second, in a just culture, there must be consideration of how the system or environment that the healthcare provider was practicing allowed or facilitated them to create the error, This must be front and center to the investigative and remedy process. Mature systems desiring to achieve high reliability need to fully investigate the systems and the environment's pressures and workflows surrounding a given practicing healthcare provider that allow them to make such a mistake. This part of accountability on behalf of the organization can be daunting. It's challenging as frontline managers and directors are often reticent to think that the systems they have created and oversee can allow or even contribute such an error to occur. It's emotionally more satisfying to identify the culprit. The third point is linking the idea of blame with shame. It's common to associate the occurrence of an error with that of a bad healthcare provider. By and large, that's probably not the case. The blame and shame tragedy come in the fact that because somebody made a single error, after they have performed tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of individual tasks in their healthcare career, after an error, or even sometimes a near miss, during an error investigation proceeding, people are often treated harshly or perceived that way, and looked upon with skepticism and doubt. Additionally, there is little regard given to the fact that the care provider that committed the error is usually often very critical of themselves and suffering quietly because of it. Care providers are taught from the very beginning that they are to hold themselves to a standard of perfection that's likely unachievable in human. Safety scientists have known this for years. A laudable goal, but impossible to achieve. Only after careful, honest, non-biased, non-emotional consideration of all the things that I've been discussing is it time to begin an assignment of accountability to individuals. Blame may be shared by one or several individuals as well as the system, or rest entirely with the system. It is up to systems-based thinkers and those schooled on the modern ideas of patient safety and the influences of a healthy safety culture to drive change moving forward. Fundamental changes that bring to bear institutional awareness and subsequent response to errors, that all humans will make errors, and that does not mean they are bad healthcare providers. Additionally, in the aftermath of an error, providers need to be held accountable for their contributions to the error, but that is not synonymous with the need for disciplinary process in the absence of a history of poor performance, regardless of the gravity of the error. So in summary, begin with the recognition that all humans have the capacity to make an error. It is important to evaluate the accountability of the individual healthcare professional or group of professionals in any patient safety incident. However, it's critically important to objectively evaluate how the system and environment that they were put in, provided by the organization, allowed the error to occur. Lastly, there needs to be an uncoupling between the assignment of blame and the shame that comes along with it. Healthcare providers are passionate people who are critical of themselves to continuously do a better job. We not only need to leverage those personal attributes, but also take care of the healthcare providers who may be suffering silently after being involved in an error, near miss, or bad outcome. So please join me the next time you hear someone inappropriately labeling a just culture as a blame-free culture to clarify the meaning and the value of just culture. It's of critical importance to separate the concepts so that we may continue to improve our abilities to keep our patients safe. Thanks, and see you next time.